Hey kids, and welcome back to Let's Play SimCity 4. We're looking at the regional view because I wanted to show you that I changed the city name of, this used to be just called Plantation Bay, but because this is the region name, I'm just going to call it Plantation Bay City. It's going to be our central region, and I just thought it would be better to have a little bit of variety in there, sort of like Panama City versus Panama the country or something, I guess. I know it doesn't sound very creative, but we'll have other creative city names around there. I kind of want it to be the central fixture of the region. So, there's a few things I want to do in this episode. We've been hovering around 200,000 regional population for a while now, and we are getting to a point. Someone actually commented, I should have taken down their name, I would have liked to call out their name. Someone actually commented that I should build high schools, and the thought had occurred to me, but I think it's a good idea, because as our city gets bigger, you know, as I've shown you in the past few videos, it takes quite a while for the city tile to load. No, it takes quite a while for schools to affect the education level of citizens. It takes sort of like almost a generation for the average IQ level of Sims to go up in a way that actually increases their demand for sort of higher level jobs. And so I think it's a good idea that we get going right away on high schools for both of these cities. Now, we do have, I'm just going to look at the zones here and figure out where the best place to put it is. I don't want to give a high school to the entire city. Maybe I'll put a large, you know what, let's build a small one. We got lots of money. We can afford to fuck around here and make mistakes. I'd like to maybe use up some of that industry space. Trying to push industry into the neighboring city, right? But we also want to hit as many people as we can. Let's put it here for now. Or we could put it here. We're probably going to need more than one, to be honest. Let's put two. Let's do that instead. Let's put one here in this kind of little bit depressed area. Maybe there. I'm like way zoomed out to be doing this kind of nonsense, but that's okay. And then let's go back to our zones here, and maybe we'll put one like, I really just don't want to delete any of that commercial. We need all that commercial, all that tasty commercial zones. Maybe if we put it here, we can see if we can expand its radius a bit. I have a feeling we're gonna need a big one, a big high school. Yeah, so that's like the max. Let's just max everything out here and just see how much of the area we can cover. I also want to take this opportunity to clean up the existing schools in this city because there are tons. Okay, that is a private school, somewhat underused private school. This one. Yeah, I've got all these ones that are kind of underused. What if I up the funding a bit? Kind of cover the whole area here. This one we can just up the bus funding a little bit. Bus funding is very expensive, by the way. I think it's a good thing to keep in mind. I've mentioned this before, but I think it's worth reiterating as you watch me do this process of increasing the funding. Like, if I max that out, it's 120. Now, the max budget for the whole school is 360, so it's only maybe 25% of the budget. But it's a lot. So one of the things you can do if you want to have some educated Sims, but not educate your entire city, is reduce the bus funding so that it doesn't cover a huge area. This school, jeez, this school is just useless, huh? What I'm tempted to do is, you know what? We'll leave it there for now because another thing I want to do in this city, I'm going to start zoning dense. So I want to look at, I like to zone dense close to mass transit infrastructure. Yeah, okay, that's just reminding me where our lines are here. So kind of keep this dense residential area. We probably don't have the demand to fill it all up, but I'll just zone it in advance. We've got subways here, so maybe this area, maybe these strips along here that are kind of sandwiched between the office district will be denser residential. and then maybe 1 block deep here, because it's close to the transit line, kind of within walking distance. That's the criteria I'm going for the time being. I also like to have a mix of density in my cities. So like maybe like, that's just too big a zone. Okay, maybe like this, like that, and then this block here, too big a zone. Okay. Let's just look around this as well. Let's not forget anyone. And that. Let's look around up here. We can do the same here. And that's going to tax our, that is definitely, without a doubt, going to tax our resources in terms of education and healthcare and all that. It's, building dense is not without its consequences. Oh, interesting. That's a road that looks completely disconnected from the road network. Kind of surprised we're not getting little zots up here. Weird. Oh, no, that's a totally orphaned road. Well, well, well. Can I do this? Yes. Awesome. Yeah, cool. Density is good to a certain degree. It's very hard to see in this mode. Density is good in certain ways. It reduces the amount of transportation infrastructure you need to carry people. It also puts a lot of people in a small space, but it comes at a cost because it greatly increases the cost of healthcare and all that, and it basically can just lead to, you know, a lot of your hospitals and schools can become overwhelmed, which means you either have to, if you're over budget, which we almost are, if you're over budget, you either have to delete those establishments, or you have to, you know, reduce their radius or build new ones if you can afford it. So it's not without its problems. I would like to build a university for this city as well. I'm not going to build a university in the neighboring city quite yet, but I would like to build one here. We have very low demand for dense industry. Manufacturing. There's a lot of manufacturing up here, huh? For the dirty industry. I keep calling it dense industry, but it's dirty industry. I'd like to keep this kind of industrial belt here. I don't know that we're actually going to keep this industrial, to be honest. I'm trying to move a lot of the industry to the neighboring city. It's a rather destructive process, but yeah. Let's see. Maybe we can put a university kind of on the edge of town. I'm liking this. This corner is good to drop a lot of stuff that doesn't. We don't quite know where to put because a lot of the other connections are going this way. Of course. Yeah, no, I like the idea of having it run here. Let's just do it. We can always move it later. I've noticing myself saying that about a lot of things. Oh, we can just fix it later. And I have a feeling I'm going to encounter all sorts of things that I wish I had fixed to begin with. But that's the nature of the game. Going on here? Why is this? Why are you doing that? Whatever. Let's give the university a bus stop. It's surrounded by farms for the time being, and farms and industry, but I'm sure that the city will grow around it. Will grow to up to meet it, basically. All right, I am going to unpause in this city. I've got high schools in, I've got dense residential incoming, and I want to see how much the city will build up. Okay, we're getting the high tech, a lot of rewards. I might just do a whole episode where I just place rewards. I have not focused a lot on it, mostly because I find the Maxis rewards, I've seen them a million times, but we will do a fun episode sometimes where we just like place rewards around the city. Interesting. So this port is still being used to its maximum capacity. I gotta take a look at that. So subway and L train. The L train line is slowly getting used, kind of consistently, sort of 20% of its capacity or so. Obviously, this subway is not getting much use. Although, speaking of higher density zones, this is a good candidate. Let's do something like this.
leave that alone for now. Are we using up that demand? Yeah, pretty much. We're definitely getting some big apartment towers. And I'm not getting any warnings about not having enough schools or any of that, so that's good. Just trying to run the clock a bit to use up the demand, and yeah, we're definitely getting more demand for industry of various kinds. What's going on here? Why is that zone not developing? I think it's going to be time. One of the things we're going to want to do is get rid of this dump. I think that's a pretty high priority. Where should I put... I'm going to probably do one of those. If you've seen the other city, I'm going to probably do one of those dump port dump things. They're a bit cheap. They take it all off the map kind of magically, but question is where? Probably really off in the middle of nowhere. Let's put it like back here. I've noticed that those ports. Where is it? Is it in garbage? Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, they're up here. Yeah, large garbage dock. Let's do a large one. Monthly cost 600. Kind of pushing the limits of the budget here, but let's just put it back here, way out of the way, for the time being anyway. And link it up to the road network. Maybe I can flatten out this to yes. That's the universal flattening terrain tool. Just plop down individual streets. These ones connect, right? Yes, they do. Cool. Yep. Let's make a little loop there, so the trucks come in one way and out the other. Is there more connections there? No, okay. Could use a diagonal street. We haven't taken out the diagonal street tool yet. This is network add-on mod, obviously. It works okay. Does a decent job. There's also some like radial curves and stuff that make the curves a little bit less atrocious. Is that glitched out or anything? Not too bad. Yeah, that looks decent. I like to build roads that kind of go straight to their destination rather than just well, and then actually connect to them. I think this needs power. Well, I'm not sure that it does, but I think it might. Yeah, I don't know whether this plays nicely with ferries, to be honest. So I have this avenue road connection. So there is a road connection from every populous part of the city, because the next step in getting rid of this garbage dump is basically completely denying access to it. So we're gonna do that like that. And one of two things will happen. If Sims manage to find their garbage dump, they will... Oh god, a fire. Interesting. If Sims manage to find the way to the dump using the ferry systems and the bridges and everything that we put in place, then that's great. If they don't, then we're gonna have to find another solution. That's just that. I am going to put a fire station. I want the whole city covered by fire at this point. It's a very rich city. If I go into a deficit and I have to sort of burn off some of this money that's just sitting in that's fine. You know, I don't care. Like I've got what, 800,000. If I burn through 800,000 by being a bit in a deficit and then have to fix it later, I'm cool with that. I don't mind. You know, if you got money, you want to spend it. I don't want to just accumulate infinite money. Does anyone else need a fire station? Over here. Oh, there's no industry here, but yeah, let's just put one down quickly. Because it's annoying to get those fire events. I don't think... I mean, it's kind of, to be honest, it's kind of a vestige of like older SimCity games where you're dealing with disasters constantly. Disasters are, I think, a favorite feature of the SimCity series, especially the earlier titles.
But when you're really getting into building a large city in this, you start to lose interest in dealing with the little disaster. I do have a couple modded fire stations that cover like the whole city tile basically. I'm going to avoid using them for the time. Whoa, not that one. I'm going to avoid using them. These two here, like they have a huge radius. Both of them. One has this one covers like a whole tile, and the purpose of which is just to reduce the micromanagement of placing these things all over the place. I can show you them. There's Central Fire Station by Elegast and Las Portales Fire Station by the same guy or girl, and yeah, they're good. They're helpful in very large cities. They reduce the micromanaging of placing all these tiny stations all over the place, but it kind of unbalances things. I'm trying to do a sort of semi-vanilla playthrough here, really, where I use some of the vanilla buildings and sort of how much they cost and all that. I think these may actually be free or not have a monthly cost. At least they don't say it in the tooltip, so I don't know. But I certainly don't want free fire stations. I'm playing on hard mode for a reason here. Right. Let's look at our education, see how that's going up. Very soon I'm going to hop over to the other city. I think we've increased the population by about 20,000 just by densifying. Yeah, definitely creeping up. I don't know how many years it's been since I started here. Can we look at the last 10 years? It's creeping up slowly, though. Yeah, we're getting some big buildings coming up, though. That's nice. Definitely. Okay, we're getting strikes. They never seem to catch the problem before they actually strike. This school, yeah, this is a small school. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna take a look at the map. That is a small school in a fairly densely populated area. It's probably, yeah, it's these buildings here. Yeah, okay, there's a very simple problem to this. Solution to this problem. We need to put a large school here, for sure. Otherwise, we're going to be constantly dealing with, sort of, again, the infernal micromanagement. That's good, I'm happy with that. So let's take a look at, I can kind of fill that in. Fill in those empty zone areas there. Where was it? Here. Great. Yeah, we're getting to be pretty dense here, for sure. Was there another one? So I often sort of purge this list and just wait for it to repopulate. No, I'm not seeing it. Okay. Oh god. Okay, I just zoomed out with the mouse wheel by mistake there, and that is a recipe for crash to desktop in this game. So let's try not to do that in the future. I'm liking this. I haven't changed the building style yet, and I'm feeling, I hope you guys aren't getting bored. I know all the buildings kind of look the same. The reason I do that is I like to kind of get, there's the historical builds. There's a kind of historical build where I want certain cities, certain areas of the city to have a certain character based on when they were built, but there's also just I kind of want to get some of those tall buildings before I switch to another style. I don't know, maybe you guys think that's crazy. I would get it if you did, but yeah, I'd like to have some of these Chicago-style skyscrapers build up, and then eventually get some of the New York-style ones, and kind of have the city built out in that way. But yeah, okay, so let's hop over to... I don't think we're going to get much more... Well, let me just see if anything looks like it's kind of in construction. But I don't think we're going to get much more residential popping up in this city unless we zone more, and we got to wait for this garbage, this landfill, to empty before we can do that. We can start by unzoning the parts that are actually done, though. So we got to use... Where is it? This one, D-zone. The normal D-zone button doesn't work on landfill, believe it or not. That doesn't count as a road connection because it's beside the recycling plant. Anyway, so yeah, let's hop over to the other city,
And we'll run the clock a bit more here and start developing that empty quarter. Definitely needs to be developed. I also want to take a look at what's going on next door, because I kind of want to plan for that. That's got to happen. We can't. This gap here, I think, needs to be built up. Also, kind of want to build up here as well. So we're gonna start be thinking in a kind of triangular way between these three cities. I think that this corner here is going to be really the densest part of the city. Because if downtown is here, you got people coming in there, you got people coming in there, you got people coming in there. But we definitely need some kind of transit line or heavier transport here. We probably need this. There's a rail line. This rail line here, we probably need it to sort of snake up here along with the elevated rail to kind of sneak up here. Maybe we can do one along there, maybe one that goes like this and kind of connects that way or something. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, that's the idea. It's got to happen. Yeah. Maybe we'll put a rail line out to the university and past it and over to this city. That could be cool. Could be very cool. Let's load up Inner Bay. And I'm going to be doing some similar things in Inner Bay. We definitely want to be getting high schools going here as well. Whoa. Neat graphics glitch. So let's take a look at the school network here as it stands. It's kind of interesting. See, this is what I like. This is what I love about SimCity 4. I gotta just take a little pause from building here and talk about more things I like about it. So, SimCity 4, unlike pretty much any other city simulator that you know that I've played a lot of anyway, but I don't think there's any city simulator that models like society in the same way, because you can see here near this dirty industry you've got you know rows and rows and rows of poor workmen's housing, and then up here you've got you know this sort of more middle class neighborhood, and even some of it's quite, you know, these are kind of ritzy apartments, high wealth residential, medium wealth. So that's kind of cool, you know. People with more money like to live farther away from the industry, so they get these, you know, these buildings or whatever. And if we were to build industry here, like right here beside the rich neighborhoods, then these buildings would probably transform into low wealth, which means that they would kind of look grungier, and they would, you know, they would have more, like here we have 145. Well, these buildings will fill right up with, you know, 500 people or whatever. Their capacity will go up because they'll carve up all the apartments into smaller apartments. And you know, if you've ever lived in a big city and on a you know a student budget or a low budget or in a big expensive city, you know that the first thing you sacrifice is when you don't have a lot of money is living space. Anyway, let's put some high schools before I just go on an endless tangent about how much I love this game. Tempting as it is, let's put down at least one high school in this city. Where there are other schools? What's going on here? Okay, we have just one school in this city. There we go. I don't even know if I mentioned it last episode, but I put a plaza along this little area here. I kind of like this sort of central residential plaza square there. I think that's kind of cool, with the rail line running under it. Yeah, last episode we went wild on overpasses and all that. I like that look. I like that kind of layered look of cities. Yeah, okay, and then I'm going to do a similar thing here where I densify along this line, although I don't want to do it too extreme. I want to, because these people have to travel a bit further. So we're just going to go a little bit sort of like that, maybe. Really within walking distance of these rail stations. I don't think I'm going to do it there. Yeah, I like that. That might actually become commercial anyway later, to be honest. So, we should expand this city. Let's run the clock a bit. What have we got demand for? Okay, no demand for dirty industry. Awesome. A private school. That high school, though, is probably pushing the budget here. That's good. Private schools make education cheaper. Let's put this one... I'm going to put it here, because the residential areas are going to grow outward, for sure. I want to expand this city. This is going to be industry. I was kind of hoping to do residential, but I want to build a bigger port. This port is, oh, this is a stage 8 BRT Seaport. Let's take a look. Most of these mods, when they're well done, some of them are not well done. I mean, a lot of them are great, but it's great when they tell you how many. After 7 upgrades, the following applies to the fully built up port. So it's got 7 upgrades. It is a stage 8 port. I don't know if you guys remember what this looked like. That's kind of cool. There's actually a rail line there. It doesn't connect. It doesn't actually function, but maybe I'll try and hook this up to a rail line at some point. I'd have to completely redo this road network here. Needs redoing anyway, to be honest. But it'd be really cool to bring in a rail connection to the port. Just for eye candy, I will consider doing it. I will definitely consider doing it. Yeah, I wanted to build residential here, but I want to build a bigger port. I want to have this be really a teeming port with tons of activity. So I am going to zone more industry on this side of the tracks. Oh, there's something else I wanted to do here. I want to turn this into a rail viaduct. I think that'd be great. Although, it is an industrial area. I don't know. I'll think about it. For the time being, I think we can afford to zone this dense like that. The reason I'm concerned is that I need another crossing here. It's a pretty long trip all the way across like that. Well, we can start by doing this, giving them a fast option to get there. Let's just do this like that. There we go. Okay. These guys should probably have it too. Yeah, let's do this. Just giving people a faster option to get up here. Let's put in bus stops. I swear, I'm gonna look up the hotkey for bus stop someday. Someday. I used to know it. Don't remember it. But yeah, no. And zone the water's already in place. Awesome. Let's take a look at fire. It's the thing I always forget to do when I'm building industry. It's fine for now. And let's see how much that builds up. We're probably gonna need a new power plant. Wow, look at that. Build, build, builds. Educators are striking. Getting offer for the nuclear power plant. We are definitely getting some high-tech industry up there. We're actually using up a fair amount of our industrial demand, which is good. And the port is probably pretty much maxed out at this point. Yep. Now, before I build an expensive port, we need to put a power plant down. At this point, I'm really going to try and keep those power plants away. I got to make a plan in this city for where power plants are going. Power plants, right? Power plants. No, where power plants are going, and it can't be down here. It can't be. It's not okay. I think maybe like over here, as far away from the. Now wait a second here. I'm gonna rotate this. Oops, no, the other way. I want to have a sense of where this city kind of lies. So, Plantation Bay City is here. Down here wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do it down here. I'm going to throw down another coal power plant. I know there's some nice industry developed down here, but I'm going to throw it down here. And I'm going to start moving some of the power plants down here. I say that, but then I doubt myself. No, I just can't. It's going over here. And as those other power plants get old, I will delete them and move other ones over here, or we'll build cleaner ones, depending on where we're at with all that. Oh yeah, I put grass in there too. Let's put some trees. I do a few things off camera. Not a whole lot, but I just you know,
I'm trying to... The idea, anyway, is for us to sort of have different things to do every episode, or sort of focus on different aspects, or grow the city substantially. And yeah, there we go. That's taken care of. Yeah, we're definitely having crime issues, and we're gonna have education strikes. Health. We need another hospital and education. Education's actually not so bad. Let's leave the health as it is. Let them deal with it for a bit. I'm gonna put it back to this view because it's just easier for the city. And now I'm gonna look at seaports. I'm gonna put another port here, and I'm gonna put some kind of port here. I'm gonna dodge this rail line over and put a port there for sure. It's just really nice. Just tick the clock a bit, make a bit of money. But we've got a fair amount of money. We can probably build that other hospital. Now let's take a look at what we have in terms of ports. There's lots of fun ports to play with here. Inland coal port. No, that's an inland one. I'm not going to use the... I'm not going to get into canal building. I have not played around with it enough. I'm just not familiar with it. So this one I don't like too much for this city. These are cool though. Like there's a grain port if you're building an agricultural city. Warehouse port starts as a small port and upgrades automatically up to 5 upgrades. That's cool. Inland port. All the inland ones use the kind of canal. Yeah, a lot of these ones use the canal system. What is this? This is a BRT seaport. What's the BLS container ports? Looks kind of big. Pretty cool. Okay, we need to do some terraforming to make this work. Let's try it. I love a good port city. I live in Montreal, that's a port city. But I love, there's nothing better than being in a big city, like New York's a port city. Nothing better than being in a big city that's got this big port that's just like a window on the whole world. Come on now. Cooperate with me. Build on water. I think this used to be like totally on land or something. Interesting. Yeah, it's letting me build it there. So maybe we'll try and squeeze it like there. Let's just delete those bus stops temporarily. And try and squeeze it in there. I'm being a little bit cautious here because if you terraform too close to an existing structure, it will get demolished. And we don't want that. Okay, let's try and squeeze it in there. See how it looks. If it looks really, really shitty. Okay, now I've sort of terraformed it out too far. I'm gonna try and do this. I really would like to do this on camera. I would rather not kind of edit this out of the video or anything. It's kind of a fun process, but if it gets too damn tedious, can't build on water. Okay, I'm gonna plop this. If it looks like total shit, I will fix it off screen. That doesn't look too bad to me. Okay, this port also, this has a functional rail connection. Very cool. Yeah, I sense that we are going to be creating an industrial rail spur of some kinds and connecting the port up. It's not required. But what's the capacity of this port? Okay, it's got growth stages too. Very, very cool. Loving it. Yeah. Oh man. I almost want to put that one up here, to be honest. Okay, I'm going to leave it for now. I'm going to leave it for now, but I think that port is actually going to live up here, and that rail line will just be deleted, and it will run through the port, which is awesome. If you've ever been in a big old industrial, kind of mid-20th century industrial area near a port, you've got like rail lines that run right through factories. I've seen a few of those where I live in Montreal, just from the highway. Rail lines that run right through the factory warehouses and then go directly to the port. Interesting. So that port is upgrading as well. It's a bit closer. It's using up a bit of the capacity there, but oh yeah, stage 4. I don't know how many stages this one has, to be honest.
I don't think it looks that bad. I understand the land is kind of tipping. Yeah, there. See, now we've got a kind of beached boat. I may try and fix this off camera for sure. I might do that. Grow stage 5. Wow. Yeah, it's closer to. Wow, this is awesome. I love this port mod. It's Functional Seaports. It is a bitch to install. It is an absolute nightmare to install in 2020 because it uses so many dependencies. I spent a good afternoon installing it at one point. But there's just so much cool stuff, and they all function. They all generate more demand for industry. Great. Well, let's see here. We have lots of demand for... We've got a lot of money. We've got lots of demand for industry. I would like to build a new residential area. Very, very... Ooh. We're getting jobless zots. Okay. Abandoned due to commute time. Interesting. Let's take a quick look at that because that is somewhat urgent. If we're getting those little zots, that means that these people are too far from where they need to be. Congestion. Probably we just need to upgrade the roads. They're all streets. We probably just need to upgrade them to roads. I don't see anything that suggests that congestion is the problem. Except maybe here. It's always kind of a puzzle, you know, when you get these jobless... Yeah, so they're driving across the city. They're driving across the city to this area here. Now they have buses. Why don't you take the bloody bus? Yeah. What's going on there? Why is this being used? Yeah, it is. Okay. Interesting. I'm not building them another metro line. I could connect these two up like this. Wouldn't be a bad idea, but it's just overkill, in my opinion. They should take the bus on this road here. I think what I need to do is extend this road here. Yeah, the transit simulator in this game is a lot of fun to play with. I find a lot of fun. You know, you really just have to look at where people are traveling and what route and kind of deduce what route they're taking, and then try and provide them with a better way of doing that. That's part of the reason I build all these low capacity streets, by the way, is I just find it's a joy to upgrade a street and to kind of very gradually upgrade the road network and provide people with the capacity they need to get around. I like it. Some people will just build avenues right from the get-go, and I get that. You want to build a really big city and you want to just lay down all the infrastructure it's going to need in the long term, but I quite enjoy building streets and then upgrading them to roads and then widening them and giving avenues and then doing stuff like this and kind of, you know, gradually expanding the city that way. I'm already seeing those zots disappear, which is good news. So, I think we're hitting time at this point. There are a few things I'm going to lay down the groundwork for before I cease to play. I would like to extend this line up here. That's where I see that line going, and it will be essentially residential. This line is going to go to the neighboring city, if I do indeed extend it further. This line, I think, is going to go up and then over to join this rail line here, I think, and then it will continue to go up like that. I think that's the plan, but I'll probably do that one next episode because it's going to be a little bit hairy. Anyway, it's looking good. It's looking good. We've made some progress. The port is really looking good. I will try and make some adjustments off screen. To be honest, I'll probably leave it. I'll probably leave it because I will probably want to play around with these ports and move them around and place them elsewhere when like this one would be a good candidate for where that rail line is. Oh, I see though it curves. Cool. Yeah, anyway, we'll see. We may very well put a rail crossing in there or something. It could be really cool. Maybe it'll go and connect up with this line here. Very, very cool.
I don't know whether it functions as a rail station. Some of these are kind of broken, like you need to like reconnect them to the road every time they upgrade and stuff, but who cares? It just looks cool. But yeah, I think we'll be fooling around with that. And yeah, it's looking great. So if you enjoy this video, please like the video. Just click the like button. It really helps. And subscribe to the channel if you want to see more, for sure. And I will see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.